I watched my best friend get destroyed by one mistake that looks like being a good person. Not fake good, not performative good, real good. The kind of person who answers every call, forgives too fast, gives more than they have, and keeps believing, if I just explain myself better, they'll understand. And the world rewarded him the way it always rewards people like that. It didn't reward him with love. It rewarded him with extraction. People took his patience and tested it again. They took his loyalty and treated it like a guarantee. They took his warmth, then asked for more. Then one day, I saw him again after years of silence. He wasn't broken anymore. He was ruthless, not loud, not not dramatic, just unreachable in a way I'd never seen before. And he said something that hit me like a mirror. The world didn't change. I did. I stopped being easy to break. Here's the open loop you need to hold on to. What changed inside him wasn't his heart, it was his rules. And if you're listening right now, there's a chance you've been living with the same quiet pain. You keep trying to be understood. You keep trying to keep the peace. You keep trying to prove your intentions. You keep trying to be kind enough that people will finally treat you right. But the more you give, the less they value you. The more you tolerate, the more they push, the more you explain, the more they twist. So today, I'm going to show you the exact internal shift that turns a person from easy to break into hard to control. You'll learn why kindness without boundaries becomes a target, the psychology of ungrateful people, and why they escalate when you forgive. E8 ruthless shifts that protect your peace without turning you into a villain. Practical lines and rules you can use to stop being manipulated by guilt, urgency, and chaos. And we're going to do it the right way. Self-protection, clarity, standards, not cruelty. Because ruthlessness isn't about harming people. It's about stopping people from harming you. Picture this. It's not some dramatic movie scene. It's normal life. You're at work, and deadlines keep changing. You're trying to plan your time like an adult, so you bring it up early, calm, clear, specific. Hey, quick question. The deadline moved again. Can we confirm the final date so I can plan my work? And instead of answering your question, they tilt the conversation into something slippery. Why are you coming at me like that? You blink because you weren't coming at anyone, so you soften, you clarify. You explain your intention. Oh, I'm not. I just want clarity. And then they hit you with the move that turns your reality into a debate. See, this is what I mean. Your tone is aggressive. This is why it's hard to work with you. Now the deadline is gone. Your character is end trial. 5 minutes later, nothing is solved, but you've agreed to work on your communication. You leave confused, apologizing, and still unresolved. Now zoom out. This isn't just work. This is relationships too. You ask for consistency. They call you needy. You ask for respect. They call you dramatic. You ask for honesty. They call you controlling. You ask for clarity. They call you too much. And over time, your nervous system learns a dangerous lesson. If I speak up, I get punished. So you get quieter, you get smaller. You start censoring yourself before they even open their mouth. That's how the world breaks good people. Not with one big hit, with thousands of small extractions. This is what my friend lived through. He didn't become ruthless because he wanted to be feared. I'm ruthless because he learned something brutal. When you are endlessly accessible, people don't feel grateful, they feel entitled. And entitlement is the first step toward disrespect. Let's decode the mechanism. Most people think the world breaks you through bad luck, toxic people, or unfair situations. But the deeper truth is this. The world breaks you through predictable psychological levers: guilt, urgency, emotional dependence, the need to be understood, the fear of being disliked. and the habit of overgiving without enforcing consequences. Here's the principle. What you repeatedly tolerate becomes your identity. If you tolerate disrespect, you become the one who can be disrespected. If you tolerate inconsistency, you become the one who hates. If you tolerate manipulation, you become the one who can be controlled. That's why Machiavelli's most famous line gets misunderstood. He wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved." If you cannot be both. People think it means be cruel, but at its core, it means stop being so desperate for love that you allow disrespect. Because love without respect becomes leverage. And the next quote explains why he could get targeted first. Men are quicker to offend one who is loved than one who is feared. Translation in modern terms. When someone believes you'll always forgive, they'll keep pushing. When someone believes you'll always stay, they'll keep testing. When someone believes your kindness has no limits, they'll treat you like a resource. So when we talk about becoming ruthless, we're talking about installing an internal operating system that says, my kindness has limits, my access is earned. My peace is not negotiable. My standards are non-negotiable, and if you cross the line, you lose access quietly. Ruthlessness is not cruelty. Ruthlessness is correction. Now I'm going to give you 8 shifts, 8 internal upgrades that make you unbreakable, and as I go through them, I want you to notice something. If any of these triggers guilt in you, that's not your conscience. That's your conditioning. These are the 8 signs you're still operating in the easy to break mode, and the 8 shifts that turn it off. 1. You keep giving yourself to the ungrateful sign. You keep showing up for people who treat your effort like it's nothing. You forgive without change. You explain without being heard. You give without being valued. Shift. Your care becomes a privilege, not a right. You stop bleeding energy into people who never reciprocate. Because here's a brutal truth. What's freely given is often subconsciously devalued. If someone can disrespect you and still keep access, they have no reason to stop. 2. You treat pain like punishment instead of instruction. Sign. You get hurt and you spiral, replaying, ruminating, asking why me. You carry the pain, but you don't extract the lesson. Shift. Pain becomes data. You ask, what did this reveal? What boundary did I ignore? What pattern did I miss? Ruthless people don't avoid pain, they upgrade because of it. 3. You're addicted to being understood. Sign. You over-explain, justify, clarify, defend your intentions, like you're in court. Shift. You stop chasing understanding and start requiring respect. You let people misunderstand you. Their understanding is just a tool to disarm you, because the need to be. Someone acts offended, you apologize. Shift. Detachment. You still feel everything, but you stop handing your emotions the keys. If they can trigger you, they can steer you. 5. Your boundaries are requests, not rules. Sign. You say I don't like when you, and then nothing changes. You keep repeating your boundary like it's a prayer. Shift. Boundaries become rules with consequences. Calm consequences, not rage. Quiet enforcement, not long speeches. A boundary without consequence is a suggestion. Suggestions don't protect you. 6. You talk too much when you're under pressure. Sign. You write paragraphs to people who twist your words. You argue with people committed to misunderstanding you. Shift. Silence as leverage. You speak short, specific, direct, then you stop. The more you explain, the more ammo you provide. Consistency beats persuasion. 7. Your life is open to chaos. Sign. You're always reachable, always fixing, always absorbing emergencies. Your nervous system never rests because you're constantly available to other people's instability. Shift. Become unavailable to chaos. Your time gets gates. Your attention gets filters. Your energy gets protected. You are not a public resource. 8. You betray yourself to keep the peace. Sign. You say yes when you mean no. You street. A where you're disrespected. You lower your standards because you fear being alone. Shift. Ruthless standards. You stop negotiating your worth. You become the person you don't betray. Confidence isn't TA vibe. It's a record of self-trust. And every time you enforce your standard, you rewrite that record. If this is hitting you, comment. I will not break again. And if you all read, why know the exact shift you struggle with most? Comment the number 1, 3, 5, or 7. Because in the next section, I'm going to give you practical scripts and rules to enforce these shifts. T's in real life work, relationships, family without turning cold, without escalating, and without getting dragged into guilt traps. Now we get practical. This is where ruthlessness stops being a concept and becomes a system. Defense for shift number 1. Stop feeding the ungrateful, raw, reward patterns, not potential. If someone's pattern is taking, dismissing, vanishing, returning when they need something else, stop treating their potential like it's a promise. Practical moves. Stop instant replies. Stop rescuing. Stop giving closure to people who never gave respect. Reduce access without explanation. Line to use. I'm not available for this dynamic anymore. Then silence. No debate. Defense for shift number 2. Turn pain into power. Do this after every betrayal, disappointment, or bounder. Why violation? Ask. What did this reveal about them? What did this reveal about me? What boundary did I ignore? What standard did I compromise? What would I be stupid to repeat? Then convert the pain into one decision. I don't tolerate last-minute disrespect. I don't accept inconsistent effort. I don't stay where I misrepresented decisions and suffering faster than time does. Defense for shift number 3. Kill the need to be understood. The moment you feel the urge to over-explain, pause and ask, am I speaking to connect or to be approved? If it's approval, stop. Lines to use. That's your interpretation. I'm not debating my intentions. I'm comfortable with you disagreeing. This is not arrogance. This is using to be put on trial. Defense for shift number 4. Detachment is control. Detachment is a nervous system skill. Practice. Delay response by 30 minutes when you feel triggered. Write what you want to send, then delete it. Sleep on decisions that come with urgency. Line to use. I'll get back to you when I've thought about it. People who want control hate that line because it removes their leverage. Your immediate reaction. Defense for shift number 5. Boundaries as rules. Boundary formula. 1. Name the behavior. 2. Name your standard. 3. Name the consequence. 4. Stop talking. Examples. When you raise your voice. I end the conversation. If plans are cancelled last minute repeatedly, I stop making plans. If you insult me, I leave. Then enforce it once. Not 5 warnings, not 10 discussions. 1 line, 1 consequence. The first time you enforce it, you'll feel guilt. That guilt is withdrawal from being easy to control. Defense for shift number 6. Silence and words as leverage. Rule S. Don't argue with someone committed to misunderstanding you. Don't explain yourself to someone collecting ammo. Don't negotiate with someone who benefits from confusion. Practical script. Set. I'm not discussing this in that tone. I'm not available for disrespect. We can talk when we're focused on specifics. I've said my piece. Then silence. Silence is not the silent treatment. It's restraint. Defense for shift number 7. Unavailable to chaos. Install. Filters. Filter 1. Urgency check. By when, exactly. What happens if it's not done by then? Filter 2. Response CB. Litty check. Did I create this problem? If no, support without carrying. Filter 3. Access rules. No midnight emotional dumping. No last-minute demands. No emergency. That's actually someone else's lack of planning. Line to use. That doesn't work for me. No apology. Defense for shift number 8. Ruthless standards and identity. Write your non-negotiables like laws. I don't do confusion. I don't do disrespect. I don't do inconsistent love. I don't do being an option. Then live like those words matter. Because when your standards rise, the wrong people will call you different. They'll say, you changed. And your internal answer becomes, yes, I changed. The old me was easy to break. This is the identity shift. You stop trying to be loved by everyone. You start being respected by yourself. Let's close the loop. My friend didn't become ruthless because he hated people. He became ruthless because he finally loved himself enough to stop being used. He stopped giving himself to the ungrateful. He turned pain into instruction. He killed the need to be understood. He learned detachment. He enforced boundaries. He used silence as leverage. He became unavailable to chaos. He race. His standards until weak behavior couldn't fit in his life anymore. And that's what this whole video is about. Not becoming cruel. Becoming unbreakable. So here's your final affirmation. Say it like a decision. I will not break again. My kindness has limits. My standards are non-negotiable. Now prove it with one action today. Enforce one boundary. Remove access from one draining person. Stop explaining yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Protect one block of time like it's sacred. Because the world will keep testing you, but you don't have to stay testable. If you want the follow-up with short scripts for real-life scenarios, workplace, relationships, family, comment the number you need most, 1, 3, 5, or 7, and subscribe. Because we're building a version of you that can't be manipulated by guilt, urgency, or chaos.